by connecting our Bitnami WordPress to our React Frontity front end. I'll open Bitnami again. Now we want to be able to access this data within our code. So we should be able to use our localhost /WordPress to extract the data from our Bitnami setup in our phpMyAdmin database. We'll go back to command prompt, change directory back into client, and then type npm run dev. We have to change the URL here in state.source.url rather than the state.frontity.url. That was my mistake. This URL will reference http://localhost/WordPress. And now we are taking the data from our phpMyAdmin database and displaying it within our Frontity React front end. We can go back to our localhost/WordPress and we can log in as an administrator by typing after WordPress wp-admin. This will give us the ability to log into our WordPress. This will be the same username and password that we set up when we installed Bitnami. Mine was user and the password. I'll click on posts and all posts. That's the post that we're currently displaying here. We'll add a new post. I'll call this post 2. And then I'll hit publish. I'll go back to our Frontity React front end and refresh. And now we've got our second post displaying. From here, I'm just going to make a very minor change to one of our components just to give an example of how to update and create components. But we will be changing the theme soon to something easier to work with that, in my opinion, looks much better. First of all, we'll make a change to what we're displaying here in our header. We can go to packages and navigate to our Mars theme, sources and components. We've got our index.js file here directly within our components folder. We want to go to components and then we'll look in our index.js file within our components folder, and we can see here that we're referencing the header component, which is in the same folder as the index.js. So it's right here. I'll open that. I've got index.js displayed here, and I've got header.js displayed here. Just for this example, I'm going to find the title tags, delete that, and type "this is a test." I'll save that. I'll go back to the browser, and you can see in our header component we've updated the text to display our message. That's just a very brief overview of manipulating the React to be able to display the content in the way that you want. I'm just going to hit Control Z to go back. So just make sure if you have changed that it's referenced within curly braces state.frontity.title. I'll save that again, and that's updated. Again, I'm going to update the theme to something that's already been pre-established, and we might look into updating that theme rather than the theme we've currently got displayed here. For now though, I want to set up another WordPress instance which will be hosted online, so when we do deploy to Heroku, we don't have to access our Bitnami WordPress instance. You can continue and develop on Bitnami, but I like to get everything up and running beforehand, so if we do run into trouble down the road, it'll be easier to pinpoint where exactly things are going wrong. So we'll open a browser, open a new tab, and we want to go to WordPress.com. WordPress.com will allow you to create a WordPress blog that is hosted on WordPress.com, as opposed to WordPress.org, which will allow you to download WordPress similar to how we installed with Bitnami, except I don't think it comes with the required PHP MyAdmin server. But anyway, we want to go back to WordPress.com. We'll hit Start Your Website, and we'll sign up for a free account. The reason I'm using WordPress.com and not a hosted WordPress instance on something like HostGator or any web hosting is because this method is free and it'll allow you to get started without having to pay for anything. I'll run through the sign up process. You should do the same. I'll call this Frontity Demo. We want to choose the free option. We'll go start with a free site here. And now we have a new site created. We'll go to post to see what we've got published. We've got one post published. So hopefully once we've connected our newly created WordPress.com blog on our React front end, we'll be displaying this content. So we'll go back to our code. I'll close down some of this. We want our frontity.settings.js file, again located within our client folder, and we need to update our URL reference within state.source.url. Now there has been a bit of a glitch in the Frontity set up for when we want to reference a WordPress.com website. We need to change URL to API. Normally you won't have to do this when you're referencing some other instance of a WordPress blog, but in this case we do, as we're using WordPress.com hosting. So make sure you have that set, and then we have to reference this site. We have to use a different URL to this. I'll write it out and then I'll run you through it. https://public api.wordpress.com/wp/v2/sites plural. I'll leave this blank for now. .wordpress.com. Here we need to reference our site name. My site is frontitydemo.wordpress.com, so I'm just going to copy Frontity Demo, paste that here, so it should display frontitydemo.wordpress.com. So we're accessing the public API, which I believe hosts all sites within WordPress.com, and then we're referencing our specific site. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this URL with Control-C. I'll go back to the browser, hit Control-V, and it's displaying a lot of JSON format. So that link looks to be working. I'll close down that. I'll go back to our code, save it, go back to our browser with localhost running. I'll refresh, and now we've got the code displayed in our automatically created post within our Frontity front end. We can go back to our WordPress.com instance. I'm going to go to post, add new post. I'll call this post 2. I'll hit publish. I'll go back to localhost 3000, and then we've got our second post displayed here.